Alright, we're doing it. Octopus launcher. So, there's been this guy in my comments that has recommended making a basically octopus launcher. He said orbital, but like I don't. I feel like ground based is gonna be more coherent. So I have to. Well, not I have to, but I'm gonna build an octopus, and the entire purpose of it, I want it to be something that can like launch and wrap around something to then, like, detain it. So I'm gonna use some hinges on it, but, like, in general, I don't want this to be clear, I want it to be matte. But in general, we're gonna make an octopus. So I have this kind of shape for the back of the head, and then I want to build a little head. Kinda something like that, maybe, but I kinda wanna attach it a little bit better and just give it a little bit more shape than cutting off. I should pull up a picture of an octopus. Okay, so they've kind of got this shape going. I want to make these the shorter version. And then we can kind of flip this around to like there. And then they have little eyes, so I'm going to build this in. Put in a 1x4 there. And then I want to put some of these in to continue off the shape, and then this is going to be like the general head of the octopus. The eyes can go, let's swap the eyes and these two. Okay. Yeah, and then the eyes can go here, and then needs to curve down to a point, which could be done with this. Yeah, we can do that. And then we're going to make them very cartoony, so I kind of want to add the simple hubcap, and then make this white, and then add a decal of just a little black circle right there. And that's like 100% gonna spin around, but I think that's funny. Okay, and then we can get the start of the body forming, and then from here I kind of want it to be just the tentacles that we would need. So I'm gonna round this off like that and that. That looks good. And then I want to cap this off right here, like so. That looks a little bit weird, so I'm gonna just use the 1x2x2. Yeah, the 1x1x2s. Yeah, and then that looks a little bit less weird. Okay. Okay, and then I want 2 connection points off of here, and then 2 off of each of those, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Duplicate this over to the other side, and then get some hinges on here. Didn't mean to move that. Duplicate this, put it over here. Duplicate these to be both twice as long. That looks good. Put this down here. So now we have 4 arms. Now we have 5, 6, but I need to move this one up to connect it. I'm just going to drag to select all of these. Unselect that by hitting Control-click, and then duplicating this over here. And now we have 8 arms that can all fold down. And I think I'm actually going to make them do that, and I'm going to do that with a NOR gate right here, so that we can have this back part attached somehow. And then when we launch it out, because when you detach blocks like this, they go back to their starting position, we can have them on a slow speed to then grip around it again, so we can launch it on something, and then it will close the arms. Okay, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're just going to look at that. Okay, so the top one and the right one are going the opposite direction. So we're going to flip these around. I did not want to paint them. Flip, not double click, flip these around. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna hook this into a few of them. I'm gonna do every other one for now. See how that does. Every other one. You can just kind of click and then hold, like, you can hold, click, and drag, and you can select as many of them as you want. So that's kind of neat. And then, how does that look? Okay, well, I want more of them. This is a good time to set the speed to, like, 0.10. And then, we're just gonna hook this into all of them. Because, why not? That too, and that. That as well. Okay, so that then looks like that, which that is still quite fast. What happens if we move the speed to 0.02? That's better. Okay. I think I would like it a little bit slower. Yeah, that's great. Because then it can slowly, like, crush around whatever it latches onto, and it has time to float through the air. And then what I might actually do is add anchor pins on this, so it can attach and then grip around. And then, like, you can fire it, it'll open the arms, it'll attach, and then it'll, like, dig the arms into whatever you're firing it at. And I think that that's a good idea. Okay, so I moved this, like, I switched that into a 2x2x1 wedge, and I think we can use an anchor pin right here, and I think that'll work out. The question is, how do we launch it now? We could use pistons. That seems like a good idea. But I kind of want to see what happens with magnets, although magnets are very unpredictable. We'll go with pistons. Okay, so we have 3 rows of pistons. We're going to configure them to be start position 0, speed, -100, auto reset, and then I'm going to set the fire button to space key, and then I'm going to go over to these, also set it to space key, although put this on a 0.02, and then when we fire it from this, once we get like a little bit of a base built up, we should be able to easily launch that, because 0.02 and 0.03 are just good timings for piston speed. So we can go like this, get a little bit, like, of legs down. I kind of want to paint this part not orange, so that the octopus stands out more. Yeah, let's paint this part gray. Yeah, that looks good. And then we can add anchor pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, just one per, not specifically in any orientation. And then it did not save that we wanted this to do this. However, not a bad thing. Now we just have to prime it a little bit, because it's not going to instantly throw us off by having, like, by pulling all of this back before we're anchored. So what I can do is just do that, launch it, like, pull them in. They don't like that. Okay. And then if we were to... Oh, it's on auto reset, never mind. I can just disable that. And we're gonna move this back a little bit, because I think it was colliding. Okay, so we have the hinge collapse. One of those is a little bit more collapsed than the others, but it's fine. It's moving back into the position it's supposed to be in. That is fascinating. I didn't know that if you artificially moved those, they would move back to the correct position at the speed that they were set to. Huh. Okay, so then now what we can do is we can hit space. 0.02 is a little bit too long. So we're going to do 0.01. Okay, and then we can hit space. And that's too short. Huh. It's also not doing the thing. They're not going. Huh. Okay, so I had to add a NOR gate to this to turn off the NOR gate in that, so it would only activate once it fired. So then I can go like this. The top ones will automatically bend for some reason, and then they'll bend back. Don't fully know why on that one, but it's certainly fascinating. And then we can hit space and fire it. It is being fired from below, so it's not at all at the center of mass, which I think is an error. I don't know where the center of mass on the octopus is, though. Okay, so I changed the head shape a little bit, and then connected that. I should probably fix that, because I wanted blocks here, not just that. And then I can put blocks there and there. Yeah, and then we have an octopus shape. And then we can fire it, and it goes. And then the tentacles wrap. Yeah, they're slowly crushing in. Okay. Now, we have to test this on something, so I'm gonna leave that to settle itself. And then spawn in something. Okay, so I have my bunny mech here. I can aim at it. I can actually rotate this properly, because I didn't know that it wasn't. And then I can go like this. And we should be able to just right-click to pull that back, and then space to fire. Interesting. So it's kind of attached to the fist. I wonder if I should put anchor pins on the outside of the octopus. Okay, so now we have those, and we can go right here. We're just doing a close distance test, because why not? And I'm actually going to wait for that to settle itself a little bit. Okay, so I have to repair over here. We're gonna repair a little bit over here. Okay, right-click. Wait for those to settle. Don't know why that does that, but, you know. And then I should be able to fire right here. Okay, so it's a little bit glitchy, but overall, I think that's an effective weapon. I was not expecting that to take out half of that. Interesting. Okay, so let's try that again. When I launch that, those will go to the back of the starting position. Yeah, and so then it grabs around, and then it slowly crushes it. And it's either going to, like, be an immobilizer, or just hug it to death. Because, like, because of the arms are connected to the top and the leg, it gets a little bit harder to move. And either way, this is just breaking me. And I cannot control what's happening. Okay, so let's repair this. Do a few repairs. Repair it again, because I forgot that it breaks when I get out of it. And then launch an octopus at it. Okay, right-click. And then spacebar should reset them, so it shouldn't matter. Oh, we don't have any aiming system, so it did just go straight into the ground. Okay. Okay, so I added an up-down thing. It's a little bit fast. It's at 0.10 speed, but this is just kind of fast for that. Okay. And then aim a little bit up, and spacebar. Oh, I aimed too far up. Okay. That was an accident. Reel in, lift up a little bit, spacebar. I'm so good at aiming. Not spacebar. Reel up a little bit, just the slightest amount. Okay, and then it's gonna grab on, and it's just gonna eat it. Yeah. That's a great test. This thing, the bunny is kind of made of power cores, but, like, so are a lot of mechs. So I think this is kind of a funny weapon. Okay, so now I am going to delete that. I think that's the right idea. and then add this in, make this a little bit less sensitive. So we're going to make it 0.05. Put this right here, left and right, all degrees. We're going to do 0.10. And then we can put a full block like this right here. Okay. And then left. Let's reel it in. Right, left, up, down. And let's aim it at that debris. So, oh, I don't have the bottom one on hold position. There we go. Let's aim just at that debris a little bit. And fire. Oh, I see the problem. Okay. So these can't be used for that because it's not at the center, so when you, like, it has recoil, basically. So we're going to do minus 0.10 on this one, and then both of these are going to be up and down. And then put that there. Put that and that, and then up, down. Sure, that works. It's inverted controls from before, but it works. And then right-click and spacebar shouldn't have caused that much recoil. Okay, that's better. So let's go over here. Yeah. Okay, let's spawn another thing to basically eat. This is a mech that I've been working on off-camera, just working on making punching viable. And let's test it on this. Get in here, repair, slightly up, just the slightest touch up. Okay. And fire. That went way more up than I was expecting. Fire. Huh, it just normally goes up. Weird. Okay, move the hinges one up. So now I'm gonna fire it from here. And it's still going up. Okay, well, let's just fire it from there. Huh. It just seems to have, like, a ton of basically artificial lift somehow. But yeah, if we attach it like that, it will latch on, and then slowly, yeah, just kind of eat at it. And then this has a harder time punching, and is just gonna get chewed on. Yeah, I cannot get this off. Okay. I finally got it off, but not without, like, being one-tappable. Let's go ahead and fire a second one. Oh, that one kind of clung to the back. Not even pressing any buttons, that just, like, basically detonated. That's cool. Oh, I just realized that I forgot to remove the control, so if I go all the way right, I can do that, and if I go all the way left, it can go back on itself. Here, let's see that real quick. Oh, that's funny. But if I hit spacebar, it'll disconnect. Okay, so I think that was a great test of that, and a semi-fun video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any comments, leave them in the comments, and see ya.